For the past few years, the Roblox front page has been plagued with nothing but slop, low effort, cash grab games, all following the same infinite scaling premise, which keeps drooling children coming back to them to waste their time and their parents' money.
So we decided to see how much the Roblox front page has actually changed throughout the years. Seeing as our accounts are probably older than half of you watching the video, we've seen just about every era of Roblox from when guests were still wandering around to the current age where kids with booger-covered iPads are stealing elephants from each other.
So we went through our old Roblox badges to see which games are still alive, what games still have active players, and which ones have been lost to time, all to answer one question. Was old Roblox really better than it is now? These look cool, right? Unfortunately for you, it's not 2014 anymore, and you're likely never gonna experience these games ever again, as they've been lost to time, killed by the Roblox questionnaire.
Sword Fighting Tournament. Made by the Gamer 101 back in 2009, was one of my favorite games to play back in the day. With a very simple game loop using the built-in Roblox sword mechanics, players would spawn in a random arena and fight until the last one standing. It died mainly due to it not being updated and being unbalanced. Stronger weapons that could be bought made the game pretty unfair for new players. Losing over and over again to someone with way better gear probably pushed a lot of people away. Now the arenas don't even work, and that is the case with a lot of these older games.
Most of these games are completely broken, or in a way not working as intended. Spleef, which was a game mode popularized in Minecraft, only shows the client-side destruction, making the game impossible to play with friends. Swordfight on the Heights has a completely different issue though. It's riddled with hackers that don't let you spawn in for longer than 2 seconds, making the game completely unplayable.
Another old Roblox game I remember playing a lot around 2014 was Gladiator. This one stood out because the combat actually felt different. Instead of just hitting someone until their health reached zero, each part of their body could be damaged or even destroyed.
'Tis but a scratch.
Which made fights feel way more brutal and satisfying than a lot of other Roblox fighting games at the time. It also had really nice lighting and a strong arena atmosphere, which made the whole game feel darker and more intense. But going back to it now, it's sadly broken. The game happens on top of the arena instead of inside it, and there are bugs where the health doesn't properly go down, so even though the idea is still really cool, the game itself doesn't really work like it used to. I got your arm, I got your arm.
I got your balls.
Not my balls!
Another classic game is the Underground War, made in 2008 by the legendary Stickmaster Luke, who famously went on to make the biggest Roblox classic, the Exploiter Disaster Survival. The game featured a team-based capture the flag game mode with a simple map, each team having 2 towers for sniping and 2 holes to dig underground to reach the enemy's flag. The game got popular as it was one of the first decent shooter games on the platform, and had an interactive map which allowed players to carve out their own paths rather than playing on a predetermined space.
Oh, you suck.
Oh!
Three.
Oh!
Mining Simulator was a sort of beginning of the end, marking the start of when simulator games went very mainstream, flooding the platform with many variants, essentially starting the infinite scaling loop era, which Brainrot games still copy today. Although it was not as egregious and required some sort of actual interaction rather than repeating the same mind-numbing task over and over again. Also, while playing, we met a regular at the game, and sadly, he informed us that half of the game's mechanics aren't working as intended anymore, making the game essentially obsolete.
Bye! 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 Bye!
You think today's banner beaters are mindless boring slop? Well, welcome to old Roblox RPGs, where the entire gameplay loop was basically swing your sword while an enemy follows you. And that was pretty much it. Some games had a few extra mechanics like potions, bows, magic weapons, or projectiles, but most of the time the core gameplay was extremely simple. You find an enemy, you hit it, you level up and get better gear, then you do it again. And honestly, I'm a personal enjoyer of these games. There's something fun about the simplicity. You don't always need a complicated combat system or a giant questline. Sometimes it's just satisfying to do basic combat, slowly level up, and watch your character get stronger over time. A lot of these games were very basic and samey, but some of them actually had more interesting qualities. For example, Legends of the Shattered Ruin. This game had a pretty nice history and, from what I remember, a surprisingly big community. It had a large map to explore, classes, item shops, different enemies, and more going on than your average Roblox RPG. It still had that classic simple combat, but there was enough around it to make the game feel better. Sadly, like a lot of old Roblox games, it's broken now. Most enemies either don't work properly or you can't damage them at all, which basically killed the game. Another RPG that had a large community was Non-Real Legends. This one may not look as classic as some of the older RPGs, but was originally made in 2010 and kept getting updated over the years. It still had that old school Roblox RPG combat, but with a more modern look and feel, excluding the loud music and sound effects that are overdramatic.
Holy epic.
It had the same basic idea of fighting enemies, leveling up, and getting stronger, but it felt more polished compared to a lot of the older games in the genre. Sadly, it has since lost pretty much all of its player base. Oh shit, it's also 5.
Okay, let's go.
Rawr.
Yeah! Ah!
No. No.
No! Oh. And that's kind of the sad part about this whole genre. A lot of these games were repetitive and simple. Some of them were probably not even that well made, but I still love them. There was something special about old Roblox RPGs. The basic sword combat, the weird maps, the random enemies, the gear progression, the small communities, all of it had a certain charm that modern Roblox RPGs don't always capture. I would love to see more games bring back this classic style, just with modern polish and less broken gameplay.
What the
Oh, Azumanga bird.
Heliwars was a personal favorite of mine. I spent most of my time on this game when it was way more active and even less functional than it is today. I remember flying outside the map to get a secret helicopter which for some reason barely anyone knew about, and crashing it over and over again while trying to get it out to actually use and show it to other people. The game hasn't changed much since I first played it, except for being a bit more functional and having a better UI, and adding a paywall to the secret helicopter. Like, why would you ever do that? Speed Race was a fun, simple game that acted as a sort of predecessor to Speedrun 4, which came out a year later. The gameplay consisted of a small obstacle course in which you raced other players to the finish. Although for a movement game, it definitely lacked control. It was kinda obvious that the player walk speed was just increased in Roblox Studio and all of the effort went into making the maps instead. Idiot. Mad Paintball is a game that needs no introduction, as it was probably a lot of people's first step into shooter games, as well as balancing nightmares. Getting spawn camped by someone who bought characters with twice your HP and a better gun was never fun, though getting a level 99 character which put you in the other end of the imbalance of the classes made the grind so worth it. While the original game isn't available anymore, you can still play remakes, and if you're lucky, you might just join a server with at least 3 people playing at a time. While getting clips for this video, we managed to join a server with 10 people playing, and the game actually holds up very well today, even if we were forced to play on Australian ping.
That ain't
Oh, 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 oh.
Bro,
Happy. Oh, that's a teammate. I know.
oh, why are you there?
Bang, one
There.
Pirate's Life is another favorite of mine. It was a pirate-themed roleplay game which I spent hours on long before I even created my account, having to grind everything from zero each time I relogged as a guest. I still remember all the boat fights that happened, and all the secrets around the map that you could get treasure for, and most of all, I remember the shark that used to scare the out of me each time I went to the corner of the map. However, now the game is completely broken, and the only real gameplay you can get is seeing your fish sink back into the water each time you catch them, as well as getting struck by lightning.
What the f? Bruh.
The last game we'd like to cover is Disaster Survival, which was the original casual slop game for when nothing else was really hitting. With random events that were trying to kill you happening every minute or so, and all of the gear that everyone liked in one game, there was nothing not to love about it. It featured the original house template, and a lot of different Roblox references that were trying to kill you. Yes, it was slop, but it was good slop.
So, are all the Roblox games actually better than today's games? I'd say yes, but not in every way. Modern Roblox games are higher quality, they look better, they run better, the maps are more detailed, the animations are smoother, and some of them feel more like full indie games than Roblox games. But at the same time, a lot of modern Roblox feels way more like cash grabs, like Grow a Garden 2, whose top players just spend money to stay at the top of the leaderboard. Though, with today's economy, I can't fully blame developers for wanting to make money. But older Roblox games had a different feeling. A lot of them felt like they were made because someone simply had an idea and thought it would be fun. Old Roblox felt more experimental. People made sword fighting arenas, random RPGs, disaster survival games, tycoons, and other games. Not every Roblox game was secretly a masterpiece. A lot of them were repetitive, broken, ugly, or unfair, but they felt more personal. They felt like someone made them just because they wanted to. Thankfully, not every Roblox game is gone. Some classic games are still around and popular, like Murder Mystery 2 and Natural Disaster Survival. Those games manage to survive because their core ideas are still fun even years later. Wait, it looked like this? I remember it being so peak and such high quality.